but also the considering the basis of meditation, then the other main element of any kind of meditation practice is that of insight, the quality of wisdom. How do we develop wisdom? And this simple recollection, the simple reflection on uncertainty, is in a way that's the easiest and most tangible of entry points to wisdom. You know, that just that recollection, that way of reflecting, that way of handling things, handling the inner world, handling the external world, continually working with our experience in that way, just the recollection that things are uncertain. It's not a sure thing. Everything is undependable. Then this is the sure gateway for wisdom to arise if we work with that skillfully and consistently. It's amazing how even though on a conceptual level, or say intellectual level, we might say, well, of course, you know, everything is changing and nothing is for sure. But how difficult it is, or how untrained we are to act in accordance with that. One of the things, just a small thing that I notice so often if I'm speaking to people or writing messages of one kind or another, just so often you say, I'm going to go to, or I'm going to go to England in April, or I'm going to be teaching this retreat in such and such a place, or and how I've been in the last while, the last few months, year or so, been making it a consistent practice just to not phrase things in that way as best I can. To say, you know, my plan is to go. I expect to leave at this time, or my plane, you know, the plane that I'm booked on is supposed to take off at. And just the number of times, you know, the fingers type something and think, wait a minute, no, I don't know, it's not a sure thing. And you have to kind of go back, you know, and tweak it and rearrange the wording so that it reflects the truth of uncertainty. And just by making a little practice like that, it's a consistent reminder that this, and our very words and our thoughts and ideas speak to us. I think, yeah, it's not certain. You don't know that you're going to go. You don't know that's going to happen. You don't know that's going to come about. You don't know who's going to be there. We don't know. It's not a sure thing. Now, obviously, the rational mind then picks that up and says, "Yeah, but come on, we can have a reasonable expectation, can't we? I mean, let's be sensible. We can surely we can, you know, make plans, or we can have some idea. There's a likelihood." And so, obviously, this isn't making a kind of absurd angle on life, where we can try and sort of neutralize ourselves completely because everything around us is not dependable. Certainly we make plans and set things in place, but the reflection on anicca is to do with that inner flexibility, a readiness of heart to respond to situations as they manifest, as they appear. What we see is that that even though we can say we feel it's reasonable to have a certain expectation for things to turn out a particular way, and we realize, well, you know, I'm not addicted, I'm not stuck, you know, I know that it might not turn out this way, but the rational mind doesn't always talk to the instinctual or the emotional nature, and so when things are interrupted or things do go in a different direction to what I had planned or what I want or what I think is right, or what I was expecting, then we can be thrown off balance so completely, so thoroughly. We just weren't expecting it. Just to today Ajahn was talking to our neighbor Yo, one of the people who is uses KPY, the retreat place next door, and talking about Ed Mirabito, who used to be the owner there, still owns some of the land up there, and his younger brother, who was only 52-ish, something like that, younger than that, was dropped dead of a heart attack a little while ago, and Ajahn Pasno said, yeah, when you're the elder brother and your kid brother pops off, then you think, well, hey, when am I going to go? And for poor Ed, it was really threw him for a loop. He wasn't expecting it. It had no refuge, no place to hold that, no way of managing that or understanding that. Yeah, so many times, not just with our siblings or our loved ones dying, but just in so many small ways, things that we've planned to do. We go into town to get something and suddenly find the shop's closed, or we have some idea of making an arrangement or having an agreement with someone, and you show up and then they're not ready, or that they've forgotten about it, or they've gone somewhere else, and so we get upset. Oh, how can they do that? That's really insensitive. No. The mind goes to that, doesn't it? It doesn't go to, oh, it was always uncertain. Oh, I was just presuming that when I said I'll see you at your place at 4 o'clock, and they said yes, that was something reasonable to go on. And we didn't think, oh, that's uncertain, or that's just an arrangement. So, in terms of establishing the practice of insight, to develop wisdom, it's not just a matter of, doing a formal vipassana meditation on the meditation cushion, but one of the things that the qualities that Ajahn Chah emphasized over and over, and that we talk about a lot, but it's something that bears repeating endlessly, is just the ongoing reflection within the course of our days, to be holding that up. Like you don't know what's on the other side of the door. You don't know how things are going to turn out. You don't know how it's going to be. We make presumptions. So that is like a repetitive theme that one is bringing up within the heart. That it's not a sure thing. You don't know if things are going to go the way that you plan. You don't know if things are going to work out as you choose. I mean, numbers of times, I think all of us who live in Abhayagiri here, you've set out from your kuti early in the morning, and you're halfway down to the Dhamma hall here for the morning meditation. You suddenly realize, forgot my robe. And then, you're not going to the meditation hall. You're just going a long route. You're just making a long, a very lengthy journey between, across your kuti to get your robe. It's like you're going via, the pathway and across a few bridges and then back again, because suddenly, this is where I'm going. Or your flashlight dies halfway along the trail, and it's one of those pitch black nights, no stars, no moon, no nothing. Well, I had it timed just right. It takes me 8 minutes, and okay, 4 minutes have gone, and now it's absolutely black, and I can't even see which way is forward. So it's a simple thing. It's a simple thing, and in an ordinary flow of everyone's day, there's 10,000 opportunities to bring that up. When we have a gurgle in our stomach, or we can feel a headache, then just to notice, or we might wonder, oh, what's wrong with me? Oh dear, this feels terrible. I think I'm coming down with something. Just to notice, oh look, there's that feeling. The body is not self. It's uncertain. Is this just a headache that's going to be here all day, or is it just a passing feeling that'll go in 3 seconds? Is it brain cancer? What is it? Don't know. So that we are cultivating. It's like taking the fabric of our ordinary, everyday living situations and cultivating it, developing it. This is what we mean by developing the path, because it doesn't just do it on its own. We don't just develop insight. It doesn't sort of happen to us. So that there's like an active, ongoing work, a reflective chewing over, looking at experience, looking at the body in this way. Yesterday we were talking with some people about the reflections on the body itself and on health, and in terms of contemplating uncertainty and change. How many of us are thinking? How many of us are contemplating the absence of toothache? How many of us have thought, wow, no toothache? I mean, those of us who maybe had a toothache up until recently maybe would think that, but most of us don't think, I haven't got anything in my eye. Great. I haven't got anything in my eye. I haven't got toothache. Wow. Both of my ears work reasonably well. Amazing. How marvellous. Haven't got earache either. We go through the list of ailments that we haven't got, then the list that we do have starts to look pretty short. But we don't think that way, do we? We don't think, any time now I could come down with some ailment, and that could be it. I mean, how many of us know people who have chronic illnesses or disabilities, and that they're stuck with the idea on the recognition, oh, it's going to be like this for the rest of my life. And the sort of the grief and difficulty and heartbreak over that. And then maybe it crosses our mind for a moment, think, wow, I'm really glad that I can still walk, or I'm really glad that I can hear, or my eyes work, or I haven't got diabetes, I haven't got to take injections all day and every day. And then 3 seconds later it's gone. We just erase it. But just that recognition of, look at this. This is a temporarily able body. In the disabled community, the types of us gathered here this evening are known as tabs. We're tabs. We're temporarily able-bodied. That's the jargon that our friend Daniel passed on. Who's a quadriplegic. We don't wake up in the morning and think, I'm temporarily able-bodied. We think, we just look in the mirror and we go, oh dear, it's getting worse. We make kind of passing judgments and then forget about them. But to really cultivate the anicca sanya, the reflection on uncertainty, impermanence, then it takes this sort of ongoing effort of looking at, this could be my last able-bodied day. Well, just actually, speaking of Yo, that was more than a year ago now. So, November of 2000, she and some others were driving back from KPY back down to the city and had a head-on collision with another car down by where the 101 gets into just 2 lanes near the rock shop right by Russian River. And it seems like the other person fell asleep at the wheel, came straight across the center of the road, and they had like 2 seconds to get ready, and this other car hit them head on. And so there you are, had a nice weekend up at the monastery, and there you are with your friends, spending a weekend meditating, having Dhamma discussions, tootling around, fixing the place up, all totally wholesome, skillful, very nice weekend. back to the city, and Yo was kind of feeling a little under the weather, so she was taking a nap on the back seat of the car. Utterly benign situation. Suddenly there's another car coming through your windscreen, and everything's changed. We don't think, oh, this will be. I'm now about to start 2 years of extreme physical discomfort and traction and so on and so forth. She never crossed her mind that or maybe it did, but as far as I know, it didn't. That this could be this could be the last time I walk around without any pain in the body for a few years. But that's not to just dwell on sort of a hyper-dramatic incidents, but just to kind of keep people's attention. Just to really plough that in. That things don't always work out the way that we reckon they will. So when we feel sort of shocked or surprised or offended or delighted, like, wow, I didn't think this could happen, with positive outcomes. It's like, oh, this is Anicca, it was uncertain. Sometimes things go better than we expected. Sometimes they go worse. To not just look at the details of the judgment, but to see, oh yeah, it was always uncertain. We never knew. So the attitude that one is sustaining this kind of the sign of uncertainty, just cultivating that, developing that, this flies right in the face of a lot of the instincts that we have to make life predictable. We want to be insured, we want to be covered, we want to know, we want to be certain, we want to be protected. And so, we talk about this a great deal, but it bears repeating because the instincts are so deep and so normal. So much common sense. Well, of course I want to be protected because it's cold out there and it's raining, so I put on a poncho and keep dry, or it's, I lock my car, so that people won't steal it. So there's along with the practicalities of living, there is the movement in the heart that is taking refuge in comfort of the body, health of the body, dependable relationships, dependable mind states, dependable income. We're taking refuge in the security of our house, dwelling places. You just make a list. Along with the simple practicalities of doing what is not looking for trouble. There's this movement of the heart that actually takes refuge in the body, in physical comfort, in relationship, in family, in our livelihood, in the way we're seen by other people, our dwelling place, so on and so forth. The events of last September, brought this enormous shock through the communal psyche of the vulnerability of people in America. I mean, many people in this country live in very, very vulnerable situations already, but for a large majority of the people, suddenly there was this raw shock of, oh, this isn't a safe place. Fortress America has got cracks in it. It's not safe. So certainly it's instinctual to try and find safety and security in material things, in the emotional world, in the psychological world, in the social world, so that this contemplation of anicca and uncertainty is like a direct movement against that current that wants to take refuge in the material world, wants to take refuge in the world of form, anything concocted or compounded, mental or physical. It's like one of Ajahn Amalo's phrases that he would use over and over again is, if we seek for security in that which is inherently insecure, then we're bound to suffer. We have to. When you phrase it like that, we can see, wow, that's totally obvious. if we're looking for something that's unstable to be stable, then obviously we're going to be disappointed because it can't do that. It's just not that way. It's like waiting for the sea to be completely flat, waiting for the air to never move. It can't do that. It's not possible in the natural order of things. So that this can be confusing sometimes. We can, to the rational mind, we can think that these things are diametrically opposed to common sense. So it's a in a way that using the old Islamic adage of trust in Allah but tie up your camel. It's like we live in a way that looks after and respects the practicalities of the body, of relationship, of the physical world, of the mind. So we try to live in skillful ways. We live in ways that are wholesome. We live a life which is orderly and responsible, and try to live lightly upon the earth. Certainly we set up those structures and respect that physical and compounded dimension. But the point of the reflection is to be catching that habit. It's like throwing light onto that habit whereby the heart really is taking refuge on that my job still being there on Monday morning, or the bank not having collapsed, and all of my finances gone, or my partner will be there when I pull in from work. He won't have departed or died or evaporated or gone off with the postman. That the heart is ready for those changes. So then, with that kind of readiness to go against the current and working on that developing that sign, that perception as an ongoing quality, an ongoing presence in our lives, then when we sit down on the cushion and we're, say, using the formal meditation practice and establishing concentration through mindfulness of breathing or some other meditation object, and the mind is steady enough to rest easily in the present, then when that stability, that integration is established, then we let go of that object and we make the effort to practice vipassana in a formal way, which is to say, to allow the heart to simply be open and to receive the flow of impressions, the flow of perceptions and thoughts and sensations and so forth, and to establish that simple quality of undiscriminating knowing, reflecting on each experience, each quality of perception, just in terms of its qualities of change or selflessness, undependability, unsatisfactoriness. Then that has a massive support to it, because we've been sustaining that same kind of attitude throughout the course of our days, and through a much coarser and more varied, vibrant circumstances, so that then when we are looking at it in a more refined way, then the heart moves very easily to that reflection, establishes it very clearly. It's support that capacity of looking at the world of feeling and perception in this very clear, unentangled way. It's not news to us. It's not like suddenly we sit down to do vipassana meditation and then suddenly it's like, oh right, oh yeah, Anicca, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, right, thoughts, they're supposed to be not self, are they? Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, right, I get it now. Which is what so easily happens, isn't it? It's like the qualities of anicca, dukkha, anatta are sort of become easily lost to us, and so it's like starting from way back. We've kind of it's like almost sort of gathering the pieces to build the vehicle rather than just climbing into the vehicle that's already put together and ready to run.